A typical description of a paras is a pair of mushrooms that grew an entire crab underneath it with its own nervous system. It's widely regarded as an evolutionary marvel and the subject of many brilliant theses from reputable universities. As for why this is such a huge deal, allow me to put it in terms that the average imbecile can understand. So imagine if you grew an entire elephant underneath your torso instead of legs. Just go with it for now. Then imagine granting that elephant its sentience and making it believe that it's autonomous, and that the human on its back is just an unfortunate parasite that's taken root on its body, making it believe that you share a symbiotic relationship with the elephant, manipulating it to think that it's merely a host instead of your creation. A lot of this feels like a weird, mind-bending psychological trip. It's all very Christopher Nolan, where everything feels just a tad overtly complex for the sake of being complex, manufacturing layers and meanings to muddy the narrative in hopes that everyone would forget the main point and just admire the cool imageries. But I digress. Why do parasites go through all this trouble just to make the crabs feel in control when they really aren't? Why play mind games with what are ostensibly their limbs? Some have attributed this to God complex. Since parasites are capable of creating lives, they also might have developed a perverse interest in torturing their own creations. But push the crab a little too far and they have been known to take their own lives to escape the existential dread. They could find themselves attached to a dead crab, which would be akin to being stuck inside a car that refuses to start. The crab then becomes their coffin, their first and final resting place. But when the paras evolves into a parasect, it mercifully takes away the crab's sentience and gains full control of it. They become the pilots of their own mechs. Thus paras gives and parasect takes. Some crabs realize that this evolutionary step means their own deaths. So before it could happen, they snip the mushrooms off of their bodies to free themselves from their proverbial shackles, to become their own beings, or at least take out the mushrooms along with themselves in retaliation. But there have been some rare cases where the crab was able to successfully excise the mushroom and survive. Many have studied the phenomenon and concluded that it's a lot like those chickens that are able to survive without its head. It's certainly possible to remove the brain and continue to exist, but you're looking at a substantially lower quality of life, to say the least. And imagine what the neighbors would say when they find out you don't have a functioning brain. Oh, the egg on your face. I'm Roger Morbid, and this has been another episode of Pokemon Phax. Stay tuned for more factual Pokemon facts. Have a wonderful Pokemon day.